Good morning, friends. Welcome. A little slow string noodle this morning. Hope you're well. Hey, Jack. Good to see you. Hey, Joe. Waters above. Anyav. How are you? Brian, good to see you this morning, my friend. It's early for us, isn't it? Shinso, great to see you, my friend. Mark Bloom, Francis, James in Germany. Great to see you, my friend. Michael Kilpatrick, welcome. It's good to see you all here. Jumping this morning to the wisdom of the ancients. Begin, today is the 14th of February, 2021. Who knew? Hey, Sue. Great to see you, my friend. And in the spirit of the day, a little Valentine's proverb for you. The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. Whoever fears the Lord walks uprightly, but those who despise him are devious in their ways. A fool's mouth lashes out with pride, but the lips of the wise protect them. Where there are no oxen, the manger is empty, but from the strength of an ox come abundant harvests. An honest witness does not deceive, but a false witness pours out lies. The mocker seeks wisdom and finds none, but knowledge comes easily to the discerning. Stay away from a fool, for you will not find knowledge on his lips. The wisdom of the prudent is to give thought to their ways, but the folly of fools is deception. Fools mock at making amends for sin, but goodwill is found among the upright. Each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one else can truly share its joy. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that seems right to the man, but the end thereof is destruction. Even in laughter the heart may ache, and rejoicing may end in grief. The faithless will be fully repaid for their ways, and the good rewarded for theirs. The simple will believe anything you tell them, but the prudent give thought to their steps. The wise fear the Lord and shun evil, but a fool is hot-headed and yet feels secure. A quick-tempered person does foolish things, and the one who devises evil schemes is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Evildoers will bow down in the presence of the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor are shunned even by their friends, but the rich have many friends. It is a sin to despise one's neighbor, but blessed is the one who is kind to the needy. Do not those who plot evil go astray, but those who plan what is good find love and faithfulness. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. The wealth of the wise is their crown, but the folly of fools yields folly. A truthful witness saves lives, but a false witness is deceitful. Whoever fears the Lord has a secure fortress, and for their children it will be a refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, turning a person from the snares of death. A large population is a king's glory, but without subjects, a prince is ruined. Or as I say, if you think you're a leader and there's nobody following, you're just out for a walk. Whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. Whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their Maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors God. When calamity comes, the wicked are brought down, but even in death the righteous seek refuge in God. Wisdom reposes in the heart of the discerning, and even among fools she lets herself be known. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin condemns many people. A king delights in a wise servant, but a shameful servant arouses his fury. That's Proverbs 14 from the New International Version. As we do here weekly, reading from the book of Proverbs. If you're unfamiliar with this premise, again, this has begun because many people have asked, a lot of people have just come to the realization that they live in a created world. When they realize that they've been lied to about so many things, about everything, including the nature of where we live, and they realize that the world that we're in had to have been created. It's irreducibly complex, and the stories they tell are just that, fantastic stories. And they come to realize that there is a created world, then there must indeed be a creator. So who is that? My experience is that the creator is the very definition of love and wants to get to know you. Throughout human history, at least that we know of, again, most of which is a lie, but there have been people who interacted with this creator, and it affected them so profoundly that they went to extraordinary lengths to bring a record of it, often with their own interpretation or understanding what the creator intended, which I think is very difficult to know. My experience is the creator is infinitely brilliant and unknowingly, unfathomably deep. And trying to understand is like an ant trying to understand the work of a carpenter. Yet still they did their best to interpret what happened. Sometimes correctly, sometimes, again, with the understanding that was given to them, their belief system. All good. But what I see overall is that there is an invitation to get to know your Creator. And he says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask. And your Creator, who gives to everyone generously, will not hold back. So it's an invitation to get to know your Creator. But right smack dab in the middle of that book, called the Bible, is this book of Proverbs, 31 chapters of deep wisdom and great insight into the nature of mankind. There are 31 days in many months, 30 days in a lunar month, 28 days. And so you can read one for every day of the month. And I encourage people to start there. Read one per day, every day for 3 months. And see if it doesn't open your eyes a bit. It also will get you familiar to the language, the kind of poetic context of the way that this was written. Much of the Old Testament was written in ancient Hebrew, Hebraic, and some of it in Sanskrit, the local languages, all then put together into formal Hebrew, which then became the Old Testament, as we know today. It's still revered by the Jewish people as holy, inspired. The New Testament, largely written in Greek, although some of it probably written in the local language, Aramaic or whatever, put into Greek is formal. It's the experience of those who met and had interaction with who we know as Yeshua, Jesus, who appears, all evidence seems to point to, this is the incarnation of the first of all creation, being the Son of God, the first thing that the Creator created. And again, I reserve the right to be wrong, but as I see it, as I understand it, after unimaginable eons of being entirely alone, so desperate for relationship was he that he risked his own existence to pull a part of himself out, literally ripping a part of himself out, to become another unique individual, but still part of that original being. This gave them what they needed, the understanding how to make life, and they did so abundantly. And here we are, because ultimately, again, the story as I understand it is the younger, the created being, in honor of his Father, made this world to be a representation, a mini-me, of the original, the as above, so below, and then created one being to be a mini-me in his image. Let us make man in our own image, so that they could be in relationship with them. However, there was a dissenter, one who was also a created being who was not pleased by these events. Made it his goal to steal and rob, destroy, and kill. And here we are. Smack dab in the middle. Well, actually, it appeared to be, all indications again appear to be toward the end of the story, where the enemy has done their best to steal away as many as possible. But those who respond to the whispering calls of wisdom and truth, I don't know, Mark. I think so. Who knows? Good morning, Kelly. How are you? It's great to see you. As I have been recently digging in through a bunch of the Old Testament stuff, specifically, looking at some of the minor prophets and major prophets as well, but also the psalmist. A lot of stuff in there from David. A really interesting relationship between David and his Creator. It turns out Jesus, when I go back and look, so much of what he said, in fact, I found about 60% of the things that he said were either a direct quotation or a paraphrase of the Psalms. That's pretty remarkable. There's the Psalms very prescient in looking around, certainly prophetic in many ways. You're welcome, Brian. Great to see you. Psalm 35. Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take up shield and armor. Arise and come to my aid. Brandish spear and javelin against those who pursue me. Say to me, I am your salvation. May those who seek my life be disgraced and put to shame. May those who plot my ruin be turned back in dismay. May they like chaff before the wind, with the angel of the Lord driving them away. May their path be dark and slippery, with the angel of the Lord pursuing them. Since they hid their net for me without cause, and without cause dug a pit for me, may ruin overtake them by surprise. May the net that they hid entangle them. May they fall into their own pit, to their ruin. Then my soul will rejoice in the Lord and delight in his salvation. My whole being will exclaim, Who is like you, God? You rescue the poor from those too strong for them, the poor and needy from those who rob them. Ruthless witnesses come forward. They question me on things I know nothing about. They repay me evil for good and leave me like one bereaved. Yet when they were ill, I put on sackcloth and humbled myself with fasting. When my prayers returned to me unanswered, I went about mourning as though for my friend or a brother. I bowed my head in grief as though weeping for my mother. But when I stumbled, they gathered in glee. Assailants gathered against me without my knowledge. They slandered me without ceasing. Like the ungodly, they maliciously mocked. They gnashed their teeth at me. How long, Lord, will you look on? Rescue me from their ravages, my precious life from these lions. I will give you thanks in the great assembly. Among the throngs I will praise you. Don't let those who gloat over me, who are my enemies, without cause. Don't let those who hate me without reason maliciously wink the eye. They do not speak peaceably, but devise false accusations against those who live quietly in the land. They sneer at me and say, "Aha, aha, with our own eyes we have seen it." Lord, you have seen this. Do not be silent. Do not be far from me, Lord. Awake and rise to my defense. Contend for me, my God and my Lord. Vindicate me in your righteousness, Lord my God. Do not let them gloat over me. Do not let them think, "Aha, just what we wanted," or say, "We have swallowed him up." May all who gloat over my distress be put to shame and confusion. May all who exalt themselves over me be clothed with shame and disgrace. May those who delight in my vindication shout for joy and gladness, and may they always say, "The Lord be exalted, who delights in the well-being of his servant." My tongue will praise your righteousness and your praises all the day long. Psalm 35. I have a message from God in my heart concerning the sinfulness of the wicked. There is no fear of God before their eyes. In their own eyes they flatter themselves, too much to detect or hate their own sin. The words of their mouth are wicked and deceitful. They fail to act wisely or do good. Even on their beds they plot evil. They commit themselves to a sinful course and do not reject what is wrong. Your love, Lord, reaches to the heavens, and your faithfulness to the skies. Your righteousness is like the highest mountains, and your justice like the great deep. You, Lord, preserve both people and animals. How priceless is your unfailing love, God. People take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house. You give them drink from your river of delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. Continue your love to those who know you, your righteousness to the upright in heart. May the foot of the proud come not against me, nor the hand of the wicked drive me away. See how the evildoers lie fallen, thrown down, unable to rise. Psalms 36 and here's 37. Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they'll soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads only to evil. For those who are evil will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. A little while, and the wicked will be no more. Though you look for them, they will not be found. But the meek will inherit the land and enjoy peace and prosperity. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them, but the Lord laughs at the wicked. for he knows their day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend the bow to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose ways are upright. But their swords will pierce their own hearts, and their bows will be broken. Better is the little that the righteous have than the wealth of the many wicked, for the power of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The blameless spend their days under the Lord's care, and their inheritance will endure forever. In times of disaster they will not wither. In days of famine they will enjoy plenty. But the wicked will perish. Though the Lord's enemies are like the flowers of the field, they will be consumed. They will go up in smoke. The wicked borrow and do not repay, but the righteous give generously. And those the Lord blesses, they will inherit the land, but those he curses will be destroyed. The Lord makes firm the steps of those who delight in him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I was young, and now I am old. Yet I have never seen the righteous forsaken, or the children begging bread. They are always generous and lend freely, and their children will be a blessing. Turn from evil and do good, and then you will dwell in the land forever. For the Lord loves the just and will not forsake his faithful ones. Wrongdoers will be completely destroyed, and the offspring of the wicked will perish. The righteous will inherit the land and dwell in it forever. The mouths of the righteous utter wisdom, and their tongues speak what is just. The law of God is in their hearts, and their feet do not slip. But the wicked, they lie in wait for the righteous, intent on putting them to death. But the Lord will not leave them in the power of the wicked, or let them be condemned when brought to trial. Hope in the Lord and keep his way. He will exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are destroyed, you will see it. I've seen a wicked and ruthless man flourishing like a luxuriant native tree, but soon he passed away and was no more. And though I looked for him, he could not be found anywhere. Consider the blameless. Observe the upright. A future awaits those who seek peace, but all sinners will be destroyed. There will be no future for the wicked. The salvation of the righteous comes from the Lord. He is their stronghold in time of trouble. The Lord helps them and delivers them, and he delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in him. Psalm 37. Take comfort in these words, friends. We are surrounded by evil on every side. Every day we look, it seems only to get darker and more wicked around us, and we wish indeed that we could find a place just to be left alone. We just, want to live out our days unencumbered by the nonsense. Those of us who want to get together and live like that know that evil will have none of it. They cannot stand to see people prosper or live without being under their thumb, under their boot of oppression. So I have no doubt that however far we go, however much we prosper, they will come. But I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I will not consent. Thank you again for joining me this morning. It's always a pleasure and a delight to have you with me. I'll be back at 5 p.m. today. I think it is a full episode of Sorta Scriptural, or rather, Sola Scriptura. I think I have to go back and take a look. It's been I get confused. Every other week I do, Wayne McCroy joins me, and alternate weeks I do other stuff. But I'll be back at 5 p.m. Either way. And we'll join together. If you'd like to come, we'll dig into some of these more interesting scriptures. I'm not even sure what's on the menu today. We'll whip up something good for you. Fresh noodles for sure. Likely have some coffee or some tea handy as well, if you'd like some of that. But it's always great to see my friends and enjoy the fellowship together. I noted yesterday the Unintended Consequences stream. It was kind of random. It was really just more an update on a health situation and just sort of catch people up. And I had stated early in the program that I was likely to just make it private immediately after, especially because there was technical issues up front. There was no Noodles. But no, it's in part because I spoke about some things, and I don't want anybody to feel like I was picking on anybody or talking bad about anybody, because there really is never that intent. But as I went through and reviewed the chat log yesterday, I didn't have the heart to take it down. It was stunning. Just the love and compassion for one another exhibited in the chat, the higher-mindedness, just the beauty that you guys are. The most amazing group of people I have ever encountered as a group. It's remarkable. Kudos and blessings to you. Keep it up. It was a great time yesterday, Rob. Mark, it was. I don't know, just really didn't have anything to do with me. It's just you guys in the chat. I was watching it. I just looked at the chat later and I was like, wow, you guys are awesome. If only this could have been in person, right? If only we could have spent that time together. How amazing would that have been? And so hopefully soon, right? Hopefully we'll get to spend time together. Looking forward to the solar return and meeting with everybody if possible, trying to still figure out a way to get to South Carolina to meet up with folks. If you haven't done so yet, check out flatearthfestivals.com, and I think you'll find Karen B's got some stuff there for you. You can get your tickets to that. Again, just a great delight to see everybody there. If we are able to make it, again, I'm truly hoping so. I'm still looking into doing a road trip. We'll see how that works out. But the more I look at it, the more that it seems likely I'll have to fly. It's just so long of a period. But sometime. Am I coming to Shelton? That is the plan right now, Winston. Yes, I'm planning to be there. Ceiling Fan Man, even Mark Sargent, I think, is planning to come to the event. And that's March 20 in Shelton, Washington at the park. And we'll talk more about that as we get closer. But it'll be sort of like Flatober West. So we'll try to make it to that. So if you're in the area, if you're anywhere nearby, Shelton, Washington, on the 20th of March, we're going to get together with some like-minded folks and just spend some time together. So put that on your calendar. We'll do that. And let's see what I can come up with here. A little parting music. That's a brave road trip. I would love to. Francis, yeah, I know. I would just love to do a tour. I'm kind of jealous of Whitsett and Nathan Thompson a little bit. Well, not of them, but they're in an RV touring around. I would love to be doing that. So I'm not really jealous. I just like, oh man, that would be so awesome. It would be epic road trip, right? I love traveling. I love spending time with people. So, you know how it is. All right. Let's see what I can come up with. Again, I don't have many of these things recorded from back in the day, but there are a few. I usually try to leave you with something. That Joe Ray, who's in chat, good to see you. Good to see. Let's see. Hey, Karen B. Great to see you. I'm just wrapping up here. Going to try to throw some tunes down. Trying to find something. Let's see. Let's do this one, I guess. It's just always been a favorite of mine. It's called Streams in the Desert, and this is written about 1993. Is that right, Joe? Something like that. 93, 94 perhaps. This version, of course, was recorded in like 2002, 2003, something like that, as a rehearsal track for another band. We were just kind of reviving some of these songs, and so it was never intended to be heard by anybody. It's just a rehearsal track. There's no like the big break for the solo, that sort of stuff. It's just all kind of weird, but it's about the only thing I have remaining. Very few things, and so Joe and I hope to get together soon and try to revive some of the 100+ songs that we wrote way back in the day, from the early 1980s all the way up through the late 1990s, with our friend, the late Jim Rogers. So anyway, we'll end with this one. It's called Streams in the Desert. I hope you enjoy it. I hope to see you back this evening at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for Sola Scriptura. Take care. Oh, you're kidding, right? No sound? Oh, that's so sad. All right, I'll try again. That's I forgot to push the button. I'm here rocking out. All right, so in that case, I'll just, you know what? I'll just do a different one. It's actually not the one. I'll do this one. It's called More Than I've Ever Seen. Instead of Streams in the Desert, I'll pull this one up. So we'll do that. Okay. So you'll be able to hear this one. All right. Thanks for the heads up. See, I forgot to push the button. Anyway, I'll see you back tonight. Oh dear. My body is weary, but the hunger will not subside. The flame in my heart is dying, but the fire still burns inside. With a light that I cannot hide. I walk on the edge of time, ride the winds of destiny. I hear the thunder's coming, bringing me to my knees, like nothing I've ever seen. In my mind I hear the voices calling. In my mind I see the planets collide. In my mind I feel the end beginning. It's like waking up from a dream. It's more than I've ever seen. Shadows fall like angels' tears, leaves darkness on every shore. The sea